All in due time.
All right. How's it going? We just had a good laugh.
Did you just buy these fresh?
I don't know where.
They sweet, baby.
It's hit or miss. Sometimes they're like dry. Sometimes they're real sweet.
Yeah, good bet. Where are you from? Oasis?
No, where I work. They got good fruit because this is a rich part of town.
Ah, those rich bastards. Is it cheaper there actually
Yeah.
too? That's crazy.
Yeah. I even took a picture of some beer. I think it was Yabisu, and I'm like, it's the same price as like a Sapporo here. Why is it $260 here, but in downtown it's like $300?
We want to make the poor people feel cool and make them pay more.
Yeah, that's one thing where when you live in Japan, you're like, oh, it turns out it is all the same. Like, rich people always get better. Mm-hmm. They get better treatment. It doesn't matter what country you live in.
I heard a thing was like, if you actually want to see, like, how did it go? Like, everyone says, oh, I'm going to go to this different place and get this different culture.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you'll see a bigger difference between classes of people than you will races of people.
Yeah.
So like if you get rich white, rich black, rich Asian, and put them all in the room,
they'll get along.
Yeah, yeah.
If you get a bunch of poor guys together, they're all gonna fucking get along.
And then without even the language. But it's like, but if you get like a poor Asian person, a rich Asian person, they'll be like, where the fuck's this motherfucker?
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Now, if you ask a Japanese person, they'll be like, no, it's all good. Like, nah, it's not all good.
Yeah.
They'll look at you like you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's very easy to understand race when you move to another country and you're treated this poorly by adults, not by children. The children love us, and you go, well, I'll give you 10 years and you'll be an asshole too. So,
or sometimes the children see how the adults react. They're like, I think I can fuck with him too.
Oh,
and
right.
then they can, so it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember one time we were doing, it was like some special seasonal thing, and I remember this one rich family, like the mom called and she's like, we will buy our son more private lessons with one of your foreign teachers. I'm like, oh, so
one of the guns.
Sounds like an American rich person too, like, I'll just pay for my son to have more whatever. Another thing but that's one thing you're like, okay, race is all the fucking same. Another thing I realized is all Down syndrome people have the face. So,
motherfucker got Down syndrome.
We Japanese are so sophisticated. Y'all have the face when you're Down syndrome. You're not slipping that past me. I see it. Which is like,
I work at many Down syndrome schools, so.
But okay, I was thinking about this. In your daily life, other than sometimes on the train, how many like retarded people do you see? Do they like shelter them and hide them?
Possibly they like grab them up.
Here's another question: have you ever seen someone working in a wheelchair? I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese person in a wheelchair that has a job. Think about that.
That's a weird. It's one of those things you don't think about. We're like, wait, have I seen that?
Or like, have you?
Oh, just in a suit, button, wheelchair. Like, okay.
Yeah, but no, I've never seen them working. So is that Japan's way of being like, just get out of there? Or like,
we will give you a full salary if you don't come here.
Or like, you see blind people at the train station like tapping around. It's like, I've never seen them working. What are all these people? Do they just get paid to tap around town?
Like the Daredevil, they're like mapping the floor. Like, this floor's a little off.
Okay, would you be Daredevil? Be blind, but your superpower?
Ooh. Which Daredevil am I the one? How do I see? Is it the one with the Ben Affleck one where It's like Sonar, or is it the new Marvel one?
I never saw the show.
What?
Is it different?
It's good.
Oh.
Especially the first season.
Oh.
Second season's alright.
And then didn't they make a Luke Cage thing too?
Nah, I wasn't into that. Everyone liked it though, but I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Anywho, sorry, I got that K Rona.
Got that Rona.
Yeah, don't you ever just start like you get some dust in your throat and you're like, I got a cough, but people are gonna look at me.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So I can't breathe because I got to talk in this goddamn mask all day. Like, at work, do you wear your mask all day? Do you still have to wear the face shield?
I only wear it. I only wear it when I know adults are gonna see me.
All right.
So around little kids and around private adults, I'm like, oh, just put this on for your. Which I blame the foreign women for this. They were originally gave us off like I think 2 months. Oh, you can just teach online. I know the first month we didn't teach at all because Japan was like something that's not Japanese. We don't know how to deal with this. We're not used to pandemics. So we were off for a month, and then we started working online, and then they were like, okay, it's been a month, go back to work. And all the
we're done pretending like we were actually going to shut down. Everyone else was doing it, so we just had to pretend.
And everyone was like, ooh, I'm kind of scared, and like, oh, don't worry, you can wear a mask. And then all these fucking frumpy white bitches were like, oh, I'm so scared. And then they go, well, you can wear a face shield too now, so suck it up and get in there. And it's like, fucking damn it.
Alright, now I guess we are doing it. Alright, let's get into today's topic. Fucking Gaijin, man.
Whoa.
Man, I know, look, we bitch about Japanese people 99% of the time.
Which... this does not excuse their behavior. Yeah, I just want to point that.
You guys ain't off the fucking hook. But, you know, sometimes you gotta look at the other side. You go like, you know, sometimes you meet it, especially if you've been in my line of work. Chris has been lucky. You only deal with
I do it for one a year.
Yeah, and then you had before that you were at school.
Oh, school, so I had 0.
Yeah. But I've been around the Eikaiwa gauntlet. And I met a lot of gaijin, and some of them it's like, if you're like us, it's like we're normal people. It's like we are having these real problems.
Oh, right.
And some other guy just like, you're bringing some of this shit on, man. Like, are you fucking retarded, motherfucker? Like,
yeah.
Shit, I don't even know where I want to...
I met a few when I worked at the junior high school because we worked at the same company. They weren't... well, there was one guy that was really weird, but I think most people... which, this is kind of funny. I feel like Japan wants women to come here. Yeah. But they're getting a bunch of boys.
You're like, oh...
there was...
oh,
every time we had training, where they didn't teach us anything... there was like 20 guys and I think 1 girl, and I remember they're like, they requested that you speak louder, and she's like, I don't think I can do that.
Huh?
and then something interesting lately. So they call at my work, they call the foreigners the native English teachers. Japan's run out of those, so they're just the foreign teachers now.
They got the more natives?
They can't come into the country. They're out.
It's so good. I still jerk off to the thought.
Oh,
I don't want anyone coming, but just like
nobody can get in
because the companies, that's their whole lifeline, and it allows them to treat us more like shit. 'Cause they're like, well, we just get fresh package off the boat. And now it's like, oh
yeah,
oh.
But I think what we're seeing a lot lately is, well, Japan, but kind of Asian countries in general are extremely racist. There's been...
Wait, hold on, but before we go there, I want to go back to the female thing. Yeah, like, the thing is, though, like...
yeah.
How females work, it's like... Japan is, you know, it's not how it's advertised, so no woman is going to come over here and deal with all this bullshit.
Yeah,
She's like, I have fucking tits in the ass. And I could go back home and be number 1. And get a good guy. Instead of coming here and being number 5.
Yeah. But, yeah, they typically leave the quickest.
Yeah, they'll get the fuck out of here. The ones that stay are obviously crazy.
Yeah.
With guys, I mean, we're different. We're men are always been like, we're explorers. I'm gonna figure this shit out, you know.
Yeah, which the thing for me was like the first 5 years were terrible, and then I'm like, but I guess I'll probably turn it around now. But a woman's not gonna waste a 20-something-year-old woman's not gonna waste 5 years. And a lot of so I'll look up. You go through those periods where you're like, look, Japan. You just type it into Google and you see what comes up. And then you go, okay, this guy said how I feel. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Like, I go, nah.
Oh, the women ones are kind of interesting because a lot of them are just complaining like, fruit's too expensive here. I'm like, that's not cool. That's not great, but it's not a real problem. But then they're like, and I also get touched a lot on the trains. I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting.
I was wondering what these women look like, though. I never, because the only foreign women I see are usually not good.
Yeah. Because if you're attractive, why would you leave your country?
That's exactly.
Like, why would you even leave your hometown if you're like really good looking?
Yeah, unless you're going to like the big city, be a model or something. But like,
yeah,
that's also another thing. Attractive women aren't going to leave their own country.
Yeah,
like the most beautiful Japanese girls are going to be in Japan.
Or they'll spend a year abroad and get fucked by a bunch of
get ran through,
and then just go back and fucking.
I'm queen. just coming out like milk. A bitch. You whore. What? What did you do over there? Nothing.
I don't know how that would work, but I think it'd be funny. A guy just spreads her legs open and she's like.
It's always a bunch of constant pus or
American flag. I actually don't have corona. I think I just got some in my lungs.
You got something in your lungs? Oh, Chris.
Oh, that was a K cough. That was a K-Rona cough right there.
K-Rona.
I really need to sweep these fucking floors. They're dirty as hell.
And this TV.
I ain't gonna clean this up. Alright, so what's your main problem with the foreigners who live here? They're not all bad, but there's a lot of weirdos.
I mean, it's not a main problem. It's all the other little stuff, like one, like, I don't know, man. See, now I'm losing I'm losing the energy again. All right. Like, well, of course, the ones that are always kissing Japanese ass.
Yeah.
And then, man, this is stupid. I don't want to do it anymore. So I haven't thought this out. I gotta write this out.
It was your topic.
I know, but I gotta write it out. It's all here, but I'm just like, bleh.
It is hard. It's definitely, for any topic about Japan, it's easier to talk about when you're either on the train to work or you're at work and you're like, let me pop in the bathroom again, just type it up on my phone.
That's why when you're at work, it's like, man, like,
but
I just have to have like a pocket mic, like this and fucking yes. It just records and it's like.
Okay, well, I'm trying to think of all the foreigners I've seen. I remember.
That's the thing. There's not really that. If you work in an Eikaiwa and you're in the English bubble,
yeah,
you'll feel like there's a lot of foreigners, and you'll be around a lot of foreigners.
Yeah.
But you take one step out of that, and you're like, no, like this is Japan.
For instance, if you have training and you have like 50 different foreigners from all these different schools, and they're like, all right, lunch break, and then you go outside and you go to the McDonald's and everyone stares at you. What are all these fucking people doing in here? And then you're like, oh, we were in a 3-hour bubble of, you guys are great. Can you make us some more money? Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, even if you like go to like a typical foreign restaurant or bar that's mainly aimed at foreigners, if you leave and go like in the regular place next door, they'll be like
in the same building.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Who the fuck?" It's like, oh, like
surely you've seen people outside. Yeah, that is interesting. But here's the thing: like, I've also noticed the foreign teachers are also sometimes like just really fun. So it's like I don't know why Japanese people don't go, these guys always seem to be having fun. Like, why don't we hang out with them? But instead they're like, oh man, I don't know. It's did you write anything down about this?
I got gaijin on gaijin crime. Nato, don't care, don't talk about it, butt sex.
Wait, is this about foreigners?
I mean, this is like all my thoughts.
Alright, well, let me talk shit about Japanese people.
Alright.
That's easier to do. Maybe that'll open up something.
Open up these thighs.
Ooh.
Alright, what you got?
So, I don't know. It seems... Not the cup. It seems like foreigners, though, even other Asians, are just so much easier to talk to. Like...
Are you saying because it's in English?
That is interesting. I guess. I wonder if you went to...
It's just easier to talk to someone in my same language.
No, I mean, like, even when you're like, but I speak Japanese, and they're like, I just don't know English.
I just don't know.
I mean, just on a communication level.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're talking to a Japanese person, you're like, do you even know how to talk to people in general? But I remember, okay.
I have something to say about. Like sometimes I notice, like, all right, so we're back home.
Yeah.
If a guy is definitely weird or has some communication problems, you can tell.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about going to another country. It's like, wait, does this guy, does he have a problem and I'm just not noticing it yet or something?
Oh, okay.
Like I was walking home today.
Yeah.
And I saw that guy that gave me problems to sign up for the gym.
You saw him outside?
Yeah, and every time I see him inside, he always has like this weird, goofy ass, dumbass, almost down. It's hard to describe. He has a dumbass face.
Okay.
So I was walking outside and I saw him. He didn't see me, but he had the same dumbass look on his face.
Even when he's not working.
So I was like, oh, like, he's a fucking a weirdo.
In general.
In general.
Okay.
But I wasn't able to separate that. And all the Japanese people, they didn't have the balls to go like, alright, he's kind of a fucking weirdo, I'll help you. They were just like, let him have him. But I'm like, no, if you guys know he's a fucking weirdo, so you come help me.
Oh, okay. And Japan really doesn't discriminate against who they hire. They're just like, you can work here for 12 hours a day? Okay. Okay. Well then, okay, let's talk about weirdo foreigners then.
Oh, this man, like,
there's
a lot that, like, I have friends back home, you have friends back home,
yeah.
we're normal back home. There's a lot where you go like, oh, like, you definitely ran here, like, you didn't come to Japan, you ran away to Japan.
Yeah. But they're not even always anime people. Sometimes you just get weirdos.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
Because, like,
as a matter of fact, I think I see more of the weirdos than the anime weirdos.
Because the anime ones, you go, okay, you didn't fit in.
Right.
You thought, I'll just move to the... Which, I love... The more and more I think about it, moving to Japan because you like anime is like moving to some, like, village in Italy and going up to someone, oh, they make these, like, acoustic guitars here, right? And they're like, yeah, like, some family makes them over here. You're like, oh shit, I can meet them. They make the guitars here, and they're like, you're gonna live here? Like, they make these guitars here, and they're like, it's just like one family down the road, and it's just
so
like
you can just buy the guitar in
America
at your house. Yeah, you don't have to be all the way. You don't have to live here.
And then you're like, can I meet him? And then you go meet this family, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing in my house?" And you're like, "You make these guitars?" They're like, "Yeah, just leave me alone." And like, that's the same as coming here for anime and being like, "Oh, I love anime. I can't wait to see what the anime people are like." And then you come here and people do like anime, but it's like not what you expect.
Yeah.
But the anime people that come here,
what you were saying about
who are weird, I get why you thought like I'll come here, but then there's just weirdos that come here.
Yeah, it's like, like you're just a weird person.
Like why did you pick this one country? Because there's people they have like Japanese companies don't let you take off even if you're sick. But sometimes you are like, I can't come in.
Right.
So they get people who are like substitute teachers, and the subs are always just weird guys or weird girls. And like multiple really weird guys where it's like the let's say the teacher went home for a week and then comes back and they have like 2 or 3 different foreign teachers subbing for him. And I'm like, where the fuck did you find this guy? How does he live here as a substitute teacher? How does he have the money? Who the fuck is he? How does he work here but he still doesn't really get it?
I'm still stuck on like why for like the we know anime weird, we get it. Mm-hmm. Culture weird, we get it. But why just weird? Yeah. Was it because they wanted something completely opposite and they think that they won't think they're weird? Because you know how Japan always, to give the anime, Japan, we're wacky Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they saw that, like, maybe I can go there and fit in.
Oh, okay. So
that's a possibility.
They just saw like an advertisement maybe, and they're like, "Oh, this looks like I would fit in there."
Like they watch some wacky Japanese YouTube or something. It's like, oh, they're crazy over there. Maybe I can be normal, or I don't know.
But this is like, I wouldn't say they're normal, but like normal Japan doesn't accept that at all.
They don't accept the anime shit. They love their anime too. So I don't know why they're so against. It's like everyone's reading anime like,
on their phones or something.
Yeah. So I don't know why they pretend so much like that's not a thing. But
there's also a lot of foreigners here. I guess they got stuck, but they just despise Japan. Where I think we hit that low, and then we are like working our way out of it. Once we figure, which once again, a person I've been teaching for 4 years, a woman. A private student, and today I was just like, oh, you just really got to get into a conversation with her to get the conversation going. But it's like, why has she not been giving me any fucking help? It's the one where you just talk and they just give you like the short answer. But like today we actually had a legit conversation even about Japan, like Japanese stuff, which I'm like, okay, why can't anybody else give me information? But I don't even remember where I was going with this.
I don't know, man. You were saying something about...
but the foreigners. Some people come here, and instead of leaving, they just go, I hate this country. And they'll even get married. And have kids, and they're like, well, I hate Japan. It's like, but you have a half Japanese kid. Like why are you still here?
And they still won't learn a lick of Japanese.
Does that really help you, though? Maybe a little. I don't know.
At least can tell someone off, like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, which we've talked about before. It's like, I don't think I'll ever be actually fluent because I can't say what I want to say when I want to say it.
That's the hardest part. Like, when you're reading manga, like, oh, I'm going to save that. That's a good sentence. Then you're talking, you're like...
Anata wa baka desu yo ne?
I'm not thinking that video again.
And then, my self-introduction video.
Oki oppa.
Oh, yeah, Oki oppa ga suki desu. No. Oh, tetsu. Zenzen mitsuke nai kana. That's a problem, though. Even when you're trying to learn, I don't know. You still can't even really get in until you... It's like you can get in language, and then you have to also get in socially somehow.
Yeah.
Which makes those weirdos, like, even weirder, in my opinion. Because it's like, you didn't get in on any level! What are you doing? I'm thinking of one guy just kind of who I knew from my old job. He just kind of lives here, and he messages me once a year, and he's like, hey, man, how's it going? I'm like, why are you still talking to me? And then one time he was like, yeah, I'm getting married. I'm like, what? Why would you tell me that?
I will say, the longer you stay here, the harder it does get to leave.
Yeah.
And I'll also say, there's always that thing in the back of your head, that it's like, oh, wait, didn't I message you something? Like, I wanted to talk about, like, why it's hard to leave Japan, or why I don't leave Japan.
Yeah, that was another part.
It was like, because of course, the longer you're here, the more you just get like, I'm fucking here. But also, it's like, because look, when you come to Japan, you ain't gonna know nothing. You go get kicked. You go get your ass kicked a few times. It is what it is. You gonna maybe physically, I don't know, but definitely mentally and spiritually, you'll be like, fuck, you'll get knocked down, and sometimes it might even be like, is this shit even worth it? But it's that like, then you like, almost like your ego is like, I can't go out like that. Yeah, it's really like, if it wasn't that ego, I just might be like, alright, it was cool, but I'm out of here. Yeah. But there's a strong, like, subconscious ego that goes like, I need something. Yeah. Before, if I go home now, it's going to be like just a very unsatisfying, not like, they got all that shit out of me. Yeah. And I didn't get a goddamn thing. So it's like that ego, like, nah, I gotta get something, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the reason I didn't go home after the first 3 months working was, number one, my Saiyan pride. Because you come here for vacation, you go home, you're like, that's the greatest place in the world. Mm. And then you go back for schooling, and then you're like, I want to live here and I want to work here. I love living here. Mm. And then you go home and you're like, man, I just can't wait to get back to Japan. And then people are like, well, why would you want to do that? It's just so great. Right. I'm just having a fun time. And then you apply for JET, and they're like, put you on standby. And you're like, so there's still hope for me? And then they're like, well, one guy was fucking taking pictures of girls on the escalator, so we had to kick him out. And I'm like, and now it's my turn? No. And then you come here and you apply for a job and you get it. You're like, all right, my dream's coming through. Yeah, it's one step at a time, baby. Here we go. It's all gonna work out. And then you're like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Wait a minute, this is not on the brochure at all. And then but for me, the number one reason was just pride. It was like, I told everyone in America, Japan's great. I want to live there. I don't want to live in America. And then I was like, I can't just go back after 2 months. There's no way you can go back to America and be like, they got the better of me. It's like, what? You did so many college classes. You did the study abroad. I thought it was your thing. It's like, yeah, I guess not. So about that real estate job or something. But then the other one was like, I wanted to live in Osaka, so I thought, well, maybe life's not great in Saitama-ken. I'll get back to Osaka. I'll know everybody. And then I went, oh shit. All my friends were women who just wanted the attention. They weren't actually my friends. All my friends are dead. Push me to you know that song? No. Oh, we'll play it later. All right. So turns out, Chris, but going Tokyo people so cold, but Osaka people so jolly. Just so jolly, like Saint Nicholas. Surely you make friends easily here.
Turns out, no. I had more back inside Thailand. But I think that might be because it's smaller and it's like more countryside. So
Osaka people, so friendly.
I haven't met one goddamn friendly person here. Everyone I know that's friendly is from Okinawa. And they're actually like, hey, why don't you come visit me? I'm like, but that's Okinawa. I live in Osaka. But then you talk to Osakan people, and I'm like, hey, you want to hang out? I live 10 minutes away from you. Oh, isogashi. And like, what? And then the other reason was, the third reason is like,
just trying to get that Japanese pussy. We all gotta admit it. You're just like, I gotta get some of this pussy, man. Let's stop bullshitting around. You're like,
and
I have not gotten enough Japanese muff.
But
no, the culture, the people, man, you barely even like Japanese guys.
Oh yeah,
I need some of that Japanese pussy. I have not gotten enough of it.
Which I 100% believe this. If you know what you're doing, you can get, I don't know, 8 times as much Japanese pussy in America as you can in Japan. It's just a different society, and we are at the bottom.
Stigma. Like, he probably got a bad job and he ain't got... Oh, yeah. Oh, I was right.
Bitch, you work in an apparel shop. You sell used clothing to dumb teen girls.
I need myself a 6-figure man. 18th floor mansion. In Umeda.
I don't think you're going to get that ever.
I'm just going to live with my mom till I'm 40.
Is that a better option?
That's what they do.
I know, they're crazy. But yeah, it's like, the other one was like, why did I waste so much time learning Japanese? Like, you can't use that at all in America. Like, if you study Japanese for 8 years, come to Japan, then you move back to America, like, why did I fucking learn Japanese for almost 10 years? There's no place to use it.
Amusement parks or something.
Just go up to every Asian. Konnichiwa. Daijoubu desu ka?
Just they're so hard to find. You gotta go like one of those Ohio or something.
Is that where all the Japanese live?
For all the
Toyota plants.
Yeah.
Well, turns out foreigners and Japanese are weird. I don't know. I don't know what the point of this episode was.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We were just going off the riff. What are you doing?
I'm just getting situated.
Oh, there was one thing. Some fucking bitch on Reddit. She was like, apologies, this is long. It happened a few weeks ago. She was like bitching because some guy that works at Eikaiwa.
Yeah.
She was like, he said to the kids, how are you? And they said no. He said, alright. He didn't discipline the kids. So first, she was just like bitching about, I think she's foreigner, but she has like a kid, or maybe half kid.
Oh, okay.
And first she said she used to work at an Eikaiwa.
Right.
So I'm like, why the fuck would you take your kid to an Eikaiwa if you used to work at an Eikaiwa?
Yeah.
She was like bitching about his like teaching method, but obviously she was, he's been through the mill, so it's like, what the fuck are you bitching about? It's so long. I should just read it right now. Should I just read it?
How long is it?
It's long.
Is it funny?
It's funny.
Alright.
Alright, well, if it gets boring... Apologies in advance. This is long. It happened...
It's already fucking funny.
It happened a few weeks ago, but I'm still very angry about it. Saw a terrible teacher in action, this time from the customer's point of view. I thought I'd share my negative experience of taking a trial lesson in an Eikaiwa. This happened a few weeks ago. I have a 7-year-old daughter who is bilingual. Her first language is definitely Japanese. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck she means by that. But she is very, very capable in English.
Then why are you sending her to these classes?
The trouble is that she only speaks English to adults.
Oh.
So we were looking for a class with other bilingual kids so she can spend some time with kids in a similar situation to hers.
There are no bilingual Japanese who aren't hafu. What was she thinking?
My wife found one school that offered a... Oh, this is a guy speaking. Oh, okay. My wife found one school that offered a dedicated, returnee bilingual class for early elementary school kids at a time that was good for us. It was pretty expensive.
They
40
always are.
times 50-minute lessons equals 100 yen a month plus all the associated fees. That's not expensive at all. So we booked the class. This was on Monday. And we told them that both of the parents will be coming to watch the class. We get to the school and it's a small room about 8 mats big. Decorated like most English schools.
Yeah.
A bit tatty and warm, but fine. There was no Japanese staff. Just a teacher, which we knew about beforehand. And the dude is about 40, reasonably dressed and clearly a native speaker. I figured it was good to have an experienced native speaker. Wrong. The dude barely greets us as we come in the classroom. He speaks like a man who has given up on life. He introduces himself. He doesn't say anything to us or show us where to sit or anything. He says hello to my kid and just turns his back and starts preparing for the lesson. That's fine, but it was pretty awkward. The other kids arrived and it immediately became...
Hold on, this might be about me. I think this might be about me.
The other kids arrived.
Well, hold on, when was this posted?
I mean, this might have been long ago.
Oh, okay.
This was 2 years ago.
Oh, then probably not.
Yeah, we still had some hope 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, I had a little bit.
The other kids arrived, and it immediately became clear that this dude did not give a shit about this class. One boy comes in, and his bag goes flying across the room. The teacher says, "Hello, X," and the kid yells, "No," and runs over to the toys and starts playing with them. He ignores that kid and starts talking at my daughter. Long questions that were not good at fostering conversation. Lots of yes-no questions. Are you from America? In parentheses, she's not. What hobbies do you have? Who uses the word hobbies to a 7-year-old? Another person actually comments and say, "You guys know the fucking word hobby in Japan. Y'all love that fucking word."
It's called hobby.
Or shumi.
Yeah, but they say hobby.
Yeah, they say it so much. All right,
yeah.
And whenever my daughter looked confused, he just repeated the question several times without giving any hint or helping her understand what he was talking about. After 10 minutes of this, the other kids had arrived, and he hadn't even acknowledged them or got them to introduce themselves or anything. He asked them to sit down, and they just yell no repeatedly. He doesn't challenge this disobedience. He just accepts it.
Don't listen to this fucking gaijin. Okay, mommy.
Finally, one of the two kids had to sit down, and he asked them to introduce themselves. One boy starts, and the teacher interrupts him and finishes the kid's introduction for him, not giving the kid a chance to talk. That's because the kid was like...
What's your name? Huh? Name?
Now 15 minutes have passed. He asks the kids to take out their homework. One boy has done it. One boy says he forgot his book.
That's actually a common thing you hear.
Which he doesn't check or challenge.
Because it doesn't matter.
And the other just point blank says no. It's becoming clear that these kids run the class and he doesn't give a shit. He then starts the lesson by asking the kids if they ever been on the plane. My daughter answers and the other kid does as well. Two other boys just start play fighting in the corner. He does nothing. He then says, "Are you worried about crashing?" The kids all say no. He then says, "Maybe you should be. Planes crash all the time." I nearly got up and punched him. Who fucking says, "Maybe you should be. Planes crash all the time," to a class of 7 and 8-year-olds?
You mean the only demographic that finds that hilarious?
He then segues into the lesson, which is apparently about giving instructions. The textbook has some emergency instructions, which actually goes into the fucking lesson.
Yeah, so that's what he was... that was what he was leading in with. Huh.
But it's framed as pre-flight warning, not as an actual plane crash scenario. He just reads the book, doesn't teach any vocab or grammar other than occasionally asking the kids if they know what a certain word means.
Yeah.
After a couple of reading comprehension questions, he closes the book and says, "Let's practice giving instructions in the game." And brings out the Uno cards. Fucking Uno? A game which consists of colors, numbers, and almost no conversational language? In a bilingual class? What the fuck? But now my face is red, and my neck has a vein that's about starting to bulge. Only 2 of the 3 kids join in, and even then they just spent their time yelling at each other. One kid was trying to speak the whole lesson. He would speak English and try to add ideas to the conversation, but the teacher would ignore him. He'd just give up and go back to fighting with his friends. I don't remember how it started, but one of the kids said, You are horrible," to the teacher. And then the other 2 kids joined in. Then my daughter, who has known this dude for 40 minutes, joins in. So 4 kids are teaching, "You are horrible, over and over to this fucking loser of a human being.
Did he really type that? What?
After finishing the game, he says, "Okay, time to go." One of the kids looks at the clock and goes, "No, there's still 5 minutes. The lesson stops at 7. So this idiot, with the Zerber in the class, tried to finish the class before the time was up. He did remembers he has to give them homework and ask them to take out their books. Most of them refuse. The last 5 minutes just consists of him trying to get the kids' books out. The moment the clock ticks over, he says, "Okay, time to go," and the kids leave. But they're still in the room. Those kids never get the fuck out.
They want to leave for 45 minutes, but then you're like, "Alright, time to go," and they're like, "No.
Yeah.
Time to throw my food around."
He looks at me and asks, "Sorry, these kids are terrible." I can't contain myself anymore. I explode. "These kids aren't terrible. You did nothing. You didn't even teach them anything. You are the worst teacher I have ever seen. You didn't teach them anything. You didn't even try to get them to do anything. All these could be great kids, but you didn't do anything. You should be ashamed." He just looked like he had given up on life. He didn't even say...
It could be me. It could be me.
He didn't even say anything or defend himself.
There's nothing you can say in that moment. You just go, "Alright."
And guess what? If he did say something, you'll be bitching that he was rude and or too abusive to the kids. Hold on, there's only like 2 paragraphs left. Outside the classroom were the other kids' parents. I told them that their kids had been ignored the entire class, and they were wasting their money with this school and teacher. I probably looked like a crazy, angry person, but I was so upset that a teacher could be so lazy with the parents in the damn room. My daughter was pretty sad. She'd been looking forward to the class and didn't have a good time. So yeah, it was interesting to see the side of industry that other people make fun of. As a teacher myself, I could see so many openings for an interesting class on the same topic. The boys looked like fun kids. They just had no discipline or guidance, which we're not allowed to. Bitch.
Hold on, stop.
Okay.
The boys had no discipline or guidance because, drum roll, their parents don't do shit. I mean, I've had parents watching my class where their boys are just going, "Penis, penis, fuck, penis, shit, shine." And the moms are like, "This is just how it happens."
All right,
they just stare at you.
Today in my class, little girls.
Yeah.
I have to teach them twice because the parents are like, "Oh, we're going to get them in here 2 hours. I don't want to deal with them."
Mm-hmm.
So the first hour, they're good. Then the second hour, they're like, "All right, let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
So they become like, difficult and they're like throwing crayons.
Yeah.
The mom's sitting right there. I'm like, "Are you going, what the fuck?"
No, they don't do anything. They just stare.
All you have to do is just give them a look and she'll fucking stop.
By the way, these...
But if I discipline, then... "Oh, how dare he!" So I'm like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm this fucking guy.
How does this guy have this opinion? He's an English teacher in Japan.
Alright, hold on. After this,
okay.
I just want to read like 2 comments of people like getting on this guy. "I've been fortunate enough to mostly work with great teachers. Even the terrible ones tried hard in their lessons. This guy had no plan, no imagination, no idea, nothing. I can't imagine living in my life like that. Imagine having a group of kids chanting, "You are horrible," and not having enough spine to do anything about it. Well, he has a spine, he just doesn't want to lose his fucking job.
Yeah, being homeless in Japan as a foreigner doesn't sound great.
So anyway, if anyone knows of a good school somewhere in the Western Tokyo area, let me know. Alright, hold on. I want to find two things. Hold on.
There's so many parts you could pick apart his story, but it's like, that would take like another hour to pick through. I had some demos, or one demo today. I pray demo students are on like a day where it's just coloring and me sitting. Because the parents, for the most part, don't give a shit. They just want to go, I don't have to deal with my kids for 45 minutes a week? Okay.
One person says, wait, I'm not sure if this is what I was looking for. I'm not gonna lie, I have a particular class on Fridays that I just try to get through the best. Okay, let me find what I was looking for. Blah blah blah. You're a foreigner who's been in Japan for at least a minimum of 7 years. You most likely worked as an English monkey at some point yourself, or at least ran into a few while chasing tail. How can you be surprised by this guy's teaching skills? Honestly, the most shocking thing about this post is that you enrolled your daughter at an Eikaiwa.
Wow.
Yes, I worked as an Eikaiwa at Nova.
Oh.
This will be a minority opinion, it seems, but I do think you sound like a angry, crazy person. I won't defend this particular instructor or his methods, but a little empathy may be in order. It's not easy or pleasant to control a classroom of disrespectful students without support staff. Most kids don't take disciplinary instruction well that isn't given in their first language, and instructors typically aren't allowed to speak in the L1. Your description of the students repeatedly shouting no suggests that their English ability isn't very high. If anyone reading had experience teaching a room full of disrespectful young children with whom they can't communicate clearly in their first language, they'll understand. If these kids are sounding loser and won't answer any questions, that's primarily the fault of the parents.
Yeah.
It's likely that he's tried to discipline them in the past, but has kind of given up and decided to teach the interested students rather than waste time on the disrespectful students. While sometimes required, it's also not enjoyable to be watched by judgmental parents, and he likely decided to focus on lesson instructions to your child rather than a long, futile effort to discipline the others. What did you say to your daughter when she joined the other kids in insulting the instructor?
That's what I was going to say.
Did you reprimand her? Did you help the teacher reprimand the other students? Or did you just watch and judge?
Yeah.
If you didn't help, you're part of the problem.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
In terms of the lesson elements, I don't think they're all that bad. As an example, there's nothing wrong with saying hobbies. In fact, this is a word that Japanese students have drilled into their mind from very young.
Yeah.
It's most level appropriate. The instructor could say something like, "What do you do for fun?" But that's a much more complex sentence.
Oh, yeah.
If the aim is to be a warm-up question, then there's no issue. In terms of the airplane question, the phrasing could have been better, but he's trying to activate the topic and connect it to the textbook.
Right.
Alright, let me skip that one. Regarding his choice of Uno, there's plenty to teach. It's a fundamental principle of second language, teaching the most any activity can be used to target. I read it too fast.
Wait, they're 7 years old, right?
Yeah.
So colors and numbers is what you're going to teach them anyways.
Rather than just taking your business elsewhere, you were rude and insulting to the teacher, and then risked his livelihood by speaking poorly of him to other customers. You didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps he was having a bad day. Perhaps he just found out a loved one was sick. Perhaps he was nervous. You don't know, and you don't care. So you didn't leave room for the possibility that your judgment might not be correct all the fucking time. Did he personally insult you? Did he do anything rude to your child? Did he threaten your livelihood? You did those things to him. You were the one lacking professionalism, empathy, and compassion. Perhaps if your language teaching skills and standards are so high, you should just teach your daughter at your home.
There you have it.
There you guys have it.